you know it was a plant that completely changed my life this year? Little did I know that a seed this big would completely change my life, and I want to tell you guys all about that story and how I came to be in Buenos Aires growing $1 million agency. But before we do that, I need to go get a flight. Just made it through immigration.
We need to find a common home for you and me and maybe someone more. Give me affection, please.
So yeah, 2 years ago, I stumbled across this open source project called GPT Engineer, which is now Lovable. And little did I know that by spreading my roots and trying to get in with the community, build as much as I could with the application, and just help their team guide the product as best as I could, I actually ended up becoming the #1 Lovable partner and the #1 Lovable agency. But I didn't really know what I was doing. I just knew that I loved the product and I wanted to build in that in the future, rather than the no-code tools that I've been using in the past. And that's why I'm here in Bogota. Because of all those opportunities, because of all the live streams I did, because of how much I invested in Loveable, I ended up with a bunch of opportunities, including being able to talk at Columbia Tech Week this week and tell everybody about how much I love Loveable, but also all of the insights that I've learned over the last 2 years. I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with Columbia. I thought it was going to be a lot worse, but look at this architecture, for example. Isn't that gorgeous? So the main thing I want to try and explain to you guys is what was the business model that we used to see that initial success and rapid growth within the agency. The idea is to create an offer that is extremely irresistible. Now, your offer may have multiple things inside it that make it attractive. Perhaps, for example, one of the pieces that you have is a guarantee. Another might be your actual service, and then maybe you're going to have some maintenance. The reason our offer worked so well and people were so keen to sign up is because we centered it around a 30-day delivery, meaning that somebody could work with us and get a software product in 30 days for $10,000. If you didn't know as well, I actually have a course online. It's called classoharry.com, and it's basically all of my knowledge from the last 2 years put into a really short course that I think is relatively cheap in comparison to what I saw a lot of people charging online, which was like $200 for a course. Hopefully it's helpful, and if you check out the link in the description, you'll find a link to it as well. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there's like a lot of other parts that we work with clients to be able to ensure that this is a real success. For example, we meet them once a week on a Tuesday and we call this our client sync. We're always demoing stuff and trying to make sure that they feel like they're part of the product development lifecycle. We then use this really handy tool called Bug Herd that allows us to like automate the collection of all of the feedback. They can click on the app and it gets sent directly to our project management system. We're also making sure that we have slides, anything to help communicate ideas, make the client's life as easy as possible, as well as a shared Slack channel for any quick questions or needs that we have. I guess the cool thing about this is that a lot of people aren't used to having software delivered within 30 days. Usually they're used to projects that take 6 months. So we're really undercutting a lot of the competition when it comes to bidding for these projects, all thanks to tools like Lovable, Cursor, V0, and all of these AI generation tools. It hasn't come with its own challenges, all of the success, right? And I won't lie to you and say that it's been smooth sailing. I've done all-nighters, worked hours and hours of work. I have no real social life at the moment, no real personal life. It is literally just go to the office 9 till midnight and then go back home and sleep, and then the next day go back to work again. I'm trying to find more of like a pattern and routine of like how I can adapt to this, but honestly, when you're growing as fast as we are and going from a team of 3 to 16 in just 6 months really brings its own like challenges and problems. And as a first-time founder, I'm still trying to figure out like what is the best approach to everything, and being here at Tech Week really helps with that because it allows you to figure out like what others doing well that you can then use in your own process.
We need to find a common home for you and maybe someone more. Give me affection.
All right, checking the angle, checking the background. Some people walking behind me as well. Everybody's drunk. Duh.